Good morning, girls. In computer network, today we are going to learn about physical layer. In the previous classes, we studied the reference models. In the previous class, do you all remember we studied the OSI reference model and the TCP/IP reference model. In this class, we are going to study about the physical layer. In physical layer, how the data is going to be transmitted. Okay, how the data is going to be converted as raw bits and how it is going to be transferred. That is only we are going to study. That is, we are going to learn about the theoretical basis for data communication and the guided transmission media. The first one is the Fourier series decomposition. What is this Fourier series decomposition? Actually, when the data has been transmitted from one place to another place, the data will be converted in the form of waves. Okay, so when it is transferred for a particular wave, means one up and one down will be considered as a wave. So for up, it will take approximately, we can say that it is a pi value. Okay, that is only given in the first picture, that is f of x. Okay, x, the wave will be in the form of x. So it may be in the upside down or downside up. If it is in the upside down, it will be sin x. If it is from downside up, it will be cos x. So the combination of these waves will be considered as a periodic function, that is periodic signal, that is called as the g of t. Okay, g of t equal to 1 by 2 c plus sum of 1 to infinitive a n sin of 2 by f of t plus sum of 1 to infinitive b cos 2 by nft, which is nothing but it is telling that the combination of sin x and cos x values will be the periodic function. Okay, so here we are saying this 1 by t is the fundamental frequency. An and bn is the sine and cosine amplitudes of the harmonics. What is harmonic? That we will see in the bandwidth limited signal. That is nothing but when this wave is started moving, how it is going to move. If it is going in little bit up, it will be considered as one harmonic. Okay, like that it is based on the harmonics, nth harmonics, how many waves, how many ups and how many downs it is going to take. According to that, the periodic function is going to be calculated. So for non-periodic signals, we will refer this Fourier transmission as like this. What we have seen in the g of t has been converted as a of n, b of n and c. That is only in the following formulas. Okay, first a of n is nothing but 2 by t, integral part of 0 to t. That is, we have seen here as sum of 1 to infinitive. That is only given here as 0 to infinitive. So sin x abindrappa, we are saying that all the sine waves. Okay, cos x, when we say cos x, it will be the cos waves values, and the whole function will be considered as g of t. Okay, that Fourier transformation is taken by the integral part of negative to positive infinitive values of the periodic functions. So already we have seen that one wave will be considered as 2 pi. Okay, f of t is telling about the periodic function. Okay, and g of t is the integral part of the periodic function. So here we are denoting that f is the frequency which is going to tell about when the data has been transmitted, that particular transmission of the data is going to be measured by using this function. Okay, so this function is having some three conditions. The first condition is it should be the single valued with a finite number of maxima and minima at finite time interval, and the function g of t has finite number of discontinuities in any finite time interval. Third one is the function g of t is absolutely integrable, that is minus infinitive to plus infinitive. G of t, d of t is less than equal to infinitive value, which is telling about when the data is transmitted, it is going to be in the form of waves. These waves are going to be calculated to find out the total time of transmission, that is only periodic function. Here we are defining the function as same how this g of f is the magnitude spectrum of the signal g of t. Okay, so g of t is the periodic function which is going to tell about the transmission. Okay, so the g of f, capital G of f is telling about the magnitude spectrum, and g of f, when it is in the modulus way, it will be the magnitude spectrum. If it is not like that, it will be the phase spectrum. So this is called as Fourier transform. That means when the data has been transmitted, by using this g of t function, it is going to be calculated the total time for the transmission. Bandwidth limited signals. What is this bandwidth limited signals? It is nothing but how the data is going to be transferred. That is, what is a bandwidth? Width of the frequency range we can transmit through the bandwidth. Okay, or the frequency means ups and downs are there. Number of hops is called as frequency. So this frequency will be vary with different kinds of widths. Okay, so that is called as the bandwidth. Signals which are run from 0 to the maximum frequency is called the baseband signals, and the signals are shifted from higher range of frequency are called pass band signals. So if it is going to be low from high, it will be baseband. If it is shifted up to higher range than that, it will be called as the passband signals. So when we see this wireless signals, all are passband signals. When we are using this voice, artificially it will be cut off into 3000 megahertz. Then it will be used ordinary telephone line to transfer it. In the ordinary telephone line, as we know, copper wire will be used. In electrical and electronics, analog signals will be used. Here the bandwidths are measured in hertz. And in computer science, in digital transmission, it will be measured in bits per second for the transmission. In the figure, you can look at the signals. Means I have told you in the previous slide that about harmonics. So harmonic is nothing but the one hop. So when we are transferring a particular data, see for example, you can see there on the top the data 011000010. So this data is going to be transferred in the form of waves. Clear? So how it has been given, the bandwidth that has been explained in the picture. If it is going to be 1 it will be up, otherwise it will be down. 0 means it will be down. So the number of ups and downs will be measured as harmonics. Okay, so in the down picture, you will be in the first one, you will be seeing 4 harmonics. In the down next picture, you can see that 8 harmonics. Okay, so that is called as harmonic. Okay, here in this tabular column, you can see how the data rate has been transmitted as bits per second and the time according to that milliseconds, and how many harmonics will be there, how many will be sent at that particular time. So in the previous slides, we have seen that bits per second will be for the digital transmission, and the time taken for those bits will be in represented as t. Okay, data rate will be represented as d, and t will be representing the time. Okay, that means 8 by t. Okay, so here if you are going to take 300 bits, it will be taking 26.67 milliseconds. The first harmonic, it will send 37.5 harmonics, and after that it will be sent at that particular time, it will be 80 harmonics will be sent. Clear? So if we want to transmit the binary signal, we have a periodic signal. So the transmission is done on a telephone line according to this tabular column. Clear? So this is showing the relation between data rate and harmonics. Here you can look at the theorem, Nyquist theorem for the maximum data rate, which it is using noiseless channel, where we represent the number of discrete level of signals, and Shannon's theorem, which is telling about how the signal to noise ratio will be, that is represented by Sn. This will be used for the noisy channel. Okay, so the Nyquist theorem for noiseless channel, Shannon's theorem for noisy channel. In the picture you can see the first picture, it is telling about the baud rate for transmitting the signal. The second picture is telling about the bits per second to transfer the particular data. Okay, so what will be the data rate of that, what will be the elementary interval, everything has been given in the picture. Go through it. Transmission medium. What is transmission medium? The medium which is used to transfer the data from one machine to another machine. The first medium is the physical medium. Physical medium, either it could be a cable or air. Air is nothing but the atmosphere. So this transmission medium, broadly defined as anything that it can carry the information from source to a destination. You could see in the picture there is a sender and the receiver which is using the physical layer. There we are using the transmission medium, either it could be cable or air. Okay, so this transmission medium is divided into two categories. First one is the guided medium, the second one is the unguided medium. Guided medium is nothing but wired. There is a wire which is going to tell the path how it has to transfer. Unguided medium, which is not using the wire, it is using the air to transfer the data. So again, in this guided medium there are three different categories. Either we can use twisted pair cable, coaxial cable or fiber optical cable. These three cables can be used to transfer the data. Where in unguided medium, free space is going to be used. So this transmission media is divided into two categories, guided and unguided. Guided again divided into three categories: twisted pair, coaxial, fiber optic. Unguided is the free space. Before that, we must know what is magnetic media. Magnetic media is nothing but writing the data into the disk or DVD, which involves physical delivery of the destination due to the cost of data storage transmission rate. Actually, it is a very powerful bandwidth possible Ultram tape storage, which is going to 70 Gbps, and it will deliver the data on a particular time, and it will be according to the manpower work. Okay, next we are going to learn about the guided medium. Under that, the first category, twisted pairs. Twisted pair transmission line consists of two insulated copper wires about 1 millimeter thick helical form, and it helps to limit the crosstalk can be used to transmit analog or digital information. You can see that picture, the twisted pair picture. There is a pair wire is there which has been twisted. That means there are variety of categories in this twisted pair. In that first category is category 5 twisted pair, which is having two insulated wires that are twisted together. Different LAN standards use the twisted pairs differently. Simplex, half duplex, full duplex means, simplex means used to direct forward. Half duplex means either you can send or you can receive. Full duplex means both can be done at the same time. Again, the twisted pair is of two categories: category 3 cables, category 6 or 7 cables. 3 will be twist will be there per meter, than category 5, more twist will be there. And category 6 or 7, it will handle the signals with greater bandwidths UTP, that is unshielded twisted pairs. and only have wires and insulators, no extra shielding. Okay, this is all about twisted pairs. So twisted pair is nothing but it is a medium, wired medium to translate the data from one end to the other end. Next one is the coaxial cable. This coaxial cable is better shielding and better bandwidth than unshielded twisted pairs. It spans with longer distances. This 50 ohm cable will be used for digital transmission. 75 ohm used for analog transmission and cable TV. You can look at the picture. First will be copper core. That copper core will be covered by the insulating material. Again it will be braided outer conductor. Then only the protective plastic covering will be there. Next one is the power lines, which we are using at our home for the normal power. Okay, so it is a network that uses the household electrical wiring. You can see in the picture. Okay, there is a plug which is using the electrical cable which will be passed as a data signal to the other plug where you are getting from DVD to the TV. Okay, the data from the DVD to the TV, how it will be transferred. Okay, so it is a electrical power lines. It's most common wiring. It will be used this standard, X10 standard. What are the issues behind this? It is very difficult to transmit, not original purpose of grid. Okay, it is using some difficulties. Wiring changes from house to house. It will not be same as same cable, so there will be difference in the cables also. Signal reflections as appliances turned on off. Okay, there will be the signal reflections for on and off while we are using this wiring. It is convenience for super low frequency data signal, and it is possible to send 100 Mbps data also. So these are all the issues behind this power lines. Next, fiber optics. So it increased the computer technology. So original IBM PC will run at 4.77 megahertz. After 28 years, it will become as 3 hertz, that is about 16 per decade. This technology bandwidth can achieve up to 50,000 gigabits per second, currently at 100 gigabits per second. It is fiber to the home. Light pulse is a 1, which is nothing as a 0. If there is a pulse, it will be 1, otherwise it will be 0. Transmission will take the advantage in the internal reflection. The light ray incidence are above the critical value. So the fiber optics, which using the another technology, which is using the latest technology to achieve the high data rate and high bandwidth. Again, this fiber is divided into two categories: single mode, multi-mode. Single mode can only propagate the straight line, no bounds will be there. It is more expensive, which can transmit to the longer distance. This multi-mode is easy. Each ray has a different mode, which light ray allowed to bounce at different angles. Okay, so this transmission of light through the fiber, how it will be? This will be made of glass, not more than 1 mm thick. Okay, this light attenuation depends on the physical property of the glass and the wavelength of it. This wavelength bands commonly used as 0.85 or 1.30 or 1.55 microns. It is a flat attenuation. Chromatic dispersion. It is nothing but light spreading through the propagation. It is making a pulses in a special shape called solitons that can cancel this effect, which you can see in the picture also. Next one is the fiber cables, which has been shown in the diagram. Here there will be the core, and the core will be covered by the cladding, white color cladding. Then it will be covered by the jacket, and these three jackets will be covered by the shed. Okay, that is the diagram. Here the connections have been represented as, first one is the connectors, when fiber is connected, it loses about 10 to 20% of light, and it will be spliced mechanically and laid to end clamp, and it will lose the 10% of light. It will be fused into small attenuation. The light sources will be LED semiconductor lasers, and these light beams can be turned using Fabry mechanism in interferometers, and the receiving end will be the photodiode. The advantages are more bandwidth, low attenuation, distance to the amplifier, which will be using the repeaters. Next, 5 km for copper. It is very thin and lightweight. Disadvantages is it is less familiar, unidirectional. It can have two-way communications without having a separate wire. Okay, these are all the informations about fiber cables. So before we studied fiber optics, now we have studied the fiber cables. Both can be used for the transmission, data transmission. With this, we will finish our class today. The remaining we will see in the next class.